If I can now have your attention here in the media center, we are joined by today's second place finisher in the Exalta We Paint Winners 400, and that is Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet for Stewart-Haas Racing. Kevin, you had a really strong race car here this weekend. Martin Truex Jr. going to victory lane, of course. Talk about the battle of just trying to catch that 78 car today.
Yeah, there was really no battle. He got out there too far on the restarts. We were really struggling with third gear on the restarts, and kind of had to go into defense mode to just kind of protect our track position, and so that really put us in a box. And then the caution coming out the lap that we were pitting, we just got behind him and kind of lost control of the race when that caution didn't fall our way. But all in all, just a super fast car all weekend. It just seems like circumstances are not on our side right now, but hopefully that turns full circle as we get towards the end of the year.
Okay, we'll open the floor up now for questions. Please raise your hand. We will get a wireless microphone to you. So questions for Kevin Harvick. Go ahead.
Hi, Kevin. Justin Malillo from the RacingExperts.com. Kevin, with your 8th second-place finish of the season, do you feel that this provides you and your team another boost of momentum or more added frustration for not finding victory lane?
Yeah, I don't think, I think everybody's probably frustrated that we didn't win, but I think it's frustrated in a good way. It's very rare that you can come to the racetrack and be in those positions every week. And, I think when you look at let's just like today, I mean, we were literally coming to pit road when the caution flag flew, and never really made up those 10 spots that we lost, and struggled on the restarts to get going. So I think as you move over a little bit. I think as you look at the situations, I think second's better than 10th. So it's a frustration that's good in a way, and you want them to be frustrated, because we're not winning. But in the end, you also don't want to be greedy either.
We are now joined in the media center by today's third place finisher, Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Jimmie Johnson Foundation Chevrolet for Hendrick
Jimmie
Motorsports.
Johnson almost got you
Jimmie
tied up.
Johnson,
I know.
that's right.
I hear them announce his sponsor, and sometimes I think they're calling my name, and then they stop. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, the tricky triangle first started out as a trick today, and then you turned it into a treat with the way you recovered in this race. What is it? Just a signal of how your team is performing right now?
Yeah, I mean, our race ability has been a shining spot for this year. Today we really didn't have pace for the 78 or the 4, so we've got to get to work there. With the damaged car, we ran third, missing half the splitter, and the right side's knocked in. Some hard racing on one of those restarts off turn 3. So, good result. We overcame a lot today, having to deal with a flat tire, the damage to the car, and then got to third. So we'll take it. Scrappy day for us, but not the end of the world either.
Okay, we'll open it back up to questions. We'll start with Bill and then work our way back over to Zach.
Bill Fleischman, Philly Daily News. For either one of you, does it kind of amaze you that the 78 team can do what they do, being based in Denver and being such a good team? Either one.
I think they've had a lot of. I was tied to that deal when I was at RCR a little bit when Kurt was driving it, and they probably spend as much money as anybody in the garage, if not more, per team. But they have a lot of logistics to overcome, and it's taken them a long time to get the people in place. But they have good people. They have a lot of people that travel back and forth, and they spend as much money as anybody in the team, from travel and those things, to make sure they get their guys back to Colorado. So they put the effort in, and it shows.
Go to Zach.
Zach Sterniel with the Pocono record. For Jimmie, this is the first race since August of 2012 where a Hendrick car hasn't gone to victory lane here. For your race personally, obviously there was that contact with the wall late on the restart, like you talked about, and the flat tire earlier. To overcome that, where do you think that sets your race team right now going forward?
I think it says that we're doing a good job. Our car drives good in traffic, which is something I didn't have last year. So I'm very happy to have that. And I've had to pass a lot of cars through this first part of the season from poor qualifying efforts or a flat tire like we had today. So I think we're doing well. We still need more speed. Even if we're the fastest car, we probably still want more. But to have the 78 and the 4, so far ahead, and the speed that Kevin showed in practice, and what kind of speed is really in our Hendrick equipment, we've got to keep working. We're not where we need to be exactly.
Come up here front, Scott.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times-Tribune. For both you guys, there was a lot of talk about the bumps in turn 2, how it was going to play out in the race today. Just what were your thoughts, on the bumps going through there today?
I think after the first run, I think everybody was kind of settled down on the bumps. But if we could just keep them, if the track's smooth, a lot of them are gonna complain about it being too smooth and doesn't have enough grip. And now there's 3 bumps in the track, and it's the end of the world. So I just. I think Jimmie's probably the same way. You used to just go to the racetrack, and if there was a new bump, you came in and you said, hey, there's a new bump, and you go to work on it. And so I probably made 70% of my passes today in the tunnel because guys would get there and bounce and move up the racetrack or get loose or whatever the case may be. But I made at least 70 or 80% of my passes over there today.
I totally agree. It was an opportunity to work on your car, an opportunity to pass. I think it really surprised us all our first trip through the tunnel. It's a hairy corner to start with, and then to roll off in there your first time and find those bumps, I just think it got everybody's attention. I don't mind the bumps and the challenges that come with all that stuff, so I second what Kevin said.
Okay, we'll go to Zach and over here to Jeff.
Zach Tantavetti, Webman's Racing for Kevin. You've been where Martin is right now with ending a big, long winless streak. What do you think he's feeling right now, not only because it's for a smaller team, but ending such a big winless streak?
Yeah, the size of the team doesn't really matter. I think when you look at, everything that personally, that Martin and Sherry have dealt with, I'm just super, super happy for them personally. I'm super happy for Barney and his team, but more importantly for Martin and Sherry to see them have that bright spot of today is something that I think the whole garage is going to support and be happy with. So, obviously you always want to win, but when you can see something come full circle like their situation, it makes you proud to know them and be a part of the sport in general, to see how they've supported Sherry and all the things that they've gone through.
Jeff?
Jeff Clark, USA Today. Actually, my question was something similar, so Jimmie, could you speak to that as well? I mean, it seems like the Truex would be pretty popular in the garage.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I could add to what Kevin said is just the professional side of Martin's career in the last few years. When you go back to the Richmond race and the challenges that he has had, he's had more to overcome personally and professionally than probably anybody sitting in a seat right now. And for him to still walk in the garage every week with a smile on his face, climb in the car, put in the effort, be the great guy he is, I think speaks volumes, and very popular win for him. I went to Victory Lane myself, give him a fist bump, tell him good job as well. So very popular win for sure.
Wrap it up, Brian.
Kyle Magda, Wilkes-Barre Times leader for both of you. You're off the mile-and-a-half tracks now with the rules package. What did you think of the racing today at Pocono, and what any improvements that NASCAR could make, or are you satisfied with the product you had today?
It's really not any different than it has been for the 15 years that we've raced here. I think the bumps in the tunnel added some different things to it. I think the restarts were crazy, so I don't know that the rules package is really out. I think everybody's really blown it out of proportion, and really when you look back at things and you look how things work, it's not a lot different than it has been. So you just, for whatever reason, everybody wants to talk about it a lot more than they have. And it's like I watched that, is it the 92? I think it's the 92 All-Star race. You go back and watch that race, and everybody talks, they made it into this great production and great race on TV. It was like follow the leader in 1992. It was way worse than what we are today, and there just happened to be a crash at the finish that everybody thought was spectacular. So, and Earnhardt spun out, so that always makes it interesting. It's just like the pass in the grass. There was no pass. I don't understand.
So the only other thing to add, I think the track's coming around here. We're seeing the lane widen out. There was an outside groove that worked in one. Didn't have to run the bottom in 3 on restarts. The second lane was working. So I think what the track did and the type of asphalt they put down, I think the next year or two we'll actually start widening out the racetrack, especially in one. Yep.
Gentlemen, thanks again for coming in today. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week in Michigan.
You ready to go?